But whatever. It is recording.
Yeah.
I did. I said that. And I said, nobody falls in love.
Tomatoes?
I love them.
And then I told him, I said, the only
Cake.
person I ever loved at first sight
Nope,
of you
not a
guys."
cake guy.
Not a cake guy?
Nope.
Nope, not even the band.
Well,
Band
band.
cake was pretty good.
band's pretty good.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
going for
Oh, yeah,
distance.
Bella. Whew.
I'm going for speed.
Alien.
She's all alone
All alone.
in her time of need.
Yeah, that'll happen. All right, broadcast. All right, welcome everyone to Space Chicken, the podcast about the future recorded in the past. And just as an aside, all recordings take place in the past. Unlike normal, only being joined today by Bourke. Say hi, Bourke.
Hello.
And then, as always, I'm Danny. Unfortunately, our two other friends were fucking around with Cialis and had an erection that lasted longer than 4 hours, so they're off at the hospital right now getting,
Medicinal
their
hand
members-
jobs.
Yeah, they're getting it taped down. So, since we're talking about things that are really, really hard, Dark Souls 3 came out. And that game is really, really hard. And it got me to thinking, literally 5 minutes before we started recording, because our other show plan went to hell because people didn't show up, about difficult games and how sometimes games can go from fun to so difficult that you throw your controller against the wall and stop playing. I played Dark Souls 2. Have you played Dark Souls 2?
Have not.
All right, I played Dark Souls 2, and because of Dark Souls 2, I will not be picking up Dark Souls 3. Dark Souls 2 was and I say this without exaggeration, the single most difficult game I've ever played in my life. Like, you play the game, right? And I'm sure you've seen it. It's the idea behind it was supposedly to take back the difficultness that came with the old Nintendo games, where you only had 2 buttons.
Boy, they got it, didn't they?
Yeah, and it's like, hey, it's hard, but you'd have to be skilled, and it's like, all right, so you're gonna have to hit roll, or but if you have armor and you roll, then it takes stamina, and there's a lot of things to manage, and it's all supposed to be subtle, and really, it seemed like the game was doing things to purposefully stop you from advancing. And it's for like, who are those people who hurt themselves for fun?
Masochist.
Masochists. It seemed like a video game form of masochism. Like, it wasn't like I stopped playing. I've reached a lot of points when playing games where I'd get so mad that I've literally flung controllers. Like, I've broken controllers out of rage from playing a game. This game, I never got mad. I just was like, this isn't fun. Like, this isn't fun. I don't know what the payoff is supposed to be, but in Dark Souls, if you die, I'll put it to you like this: if you die and you respawn with less maximum health permanently. But that's a permanent thing unless you find these little effigy things, souls, little like soul dolls, and then you burn them, and then you get to like recharge your life.
That is a very specific type of hell.
Yes, I tell you, not fun for a second. So I would tell you, like, Dark Souls aside, inspired by Dark Souls, what is the hardest game that you've ever played?
I think I have to go back quite a ways here, back to the days of the 2-button controllers, and say Battletoads. Battletoads was the hardest side-scrolling game I'd ever played in my life.
Battletoads was like Streets of Rage, right? Except you're a frog?
You were a frog. It was a little bit of a, updated version of that. There were, some of the mechanics in the game were a bit newer for when that game came out, and it would alternate every once in a while from side-scrolling to up and down scrolling.
That seems
It was off-putting. I swear to God, I couldn't even tell you how many hours me and the kid who grew up next to me spent playing that game to always die at the exact same point every single time. And then we finally got past that point, and then we could only inconsistently ever get past that point in the future, and then we always died on the next phase. And like all those games back then, there was no save point, so you had to go back to the beginning and do all of it again.
Wow.
Hopefully, get past the sticky point, and then get to the point where we always died. The only victory we ever had was that one time we extended our gameplay by about 45 seconds until our next death. Never beat it. Never came close to beating it. You'd have to look on YouTube to find somebody who could beat it. For as far as I'm concerned, that game was impossible.
So that was but it was fun though. Was it fun? Did you have fun?
It was fun because I could go to my neighbor's house, and the two of us would, play this game, and laugh and make fun of each other, and never get past the hard point. I don't think I ever played Battletoads a second in my life by myself. Like I didn't even own the game. I'd go over to his house and we'd play it, and that was it. Like I never was inspired. I was like, I never said like I need this game so I can get good at it. I was like that game's a pain in the ass, and I don't want anything to do with it.
Okay, so now Dark Souls 2, right? So imagine that feeling of like, there's no one, there's no reason to play. It's like that, but you're by yourself, right? And there is no, like, people talk about like that satisfaction. Oh, I finally rolled around him and hit him in the back. It's the same fight over and over again.
Yeah, yeah.
So a long time ago, I believe it was Bungie, back in the Halo 2 development cycle, they did an interview, and in the interview they said, when you make a game, you're basically creating three things. You just want to do three things. Every game, you just do three things over and over and over and over again. And all you want to do is make those three things as fun as possible. And it was like, wow, what a great philosophy behind making a video game. Like, you're limited in what you can do. There's only three things you're going to do. You're going to shoot someone, you're going to punch somebody, you're going to throw a grenade. That's all you're going to do. Well, how do you make that fun? Well, jumping from a high place and landing on someone with your fist, that's fun. Making grenades to sticks to someone, always satisfying. Hitting a sticky grenade in Halo, always satisfying. Like 100% of the time. I've never hit a sticky grenade in Halo and go,
Meh.
whatever. Meh. I've always gone, oh, did you see that? Smite, which I play all the time, which is so frustrating sometimes. That game is so frustrating because if you mess up and the enemy team snowballs, you're gonna get annihilated. But it's worth it if you get a Athena taunt into a Janus portal into an unstable vortex, and then they're dead. You're like, oh my god, did you see that? It's dude. Dark Souls was like, oh, I'm dead again. All right, I guess I'll just have half life for the rest of my existence.
I guess I'll try to do that thing that just slapped me around again with less life.
Here's the thing, though, right? You talk, and again, I say Dark Souls was supposed to capture like that type of difficulty and satisfaction from beating like those old Nintendo games. So you die, right, in Battletoads, you got to go all the way back to the beginning. You got to start from level 1. In Dark Souls 2, when you die, everything you kill respawns. Everything you killed respawns. In the entire world, it respawns.
Oh my god.
The penalty for death is so severe. When you die, you come back with less life permanently. Again, there's like a ring you can find that will stop that from happening, right? And then there's those little effigy things that I tell you about. But it's a permanent thing basically until you figure that out. Which, by the way, there's no guide for. They don't explain to you anything. Like when you start Dark Souls 2, like there's not a tutorial level per se. They teach you how to like fight and stuff in some caves and whatever.
And then just off you go.
Off you go. Like here's the world, and the world's sad and depressing too, and not pretty. Like it's not like a beautiful game. It's not like kind of like sublime or somber. It's just like the world is ugly, the things in it are ugly, you're ugly.
Let's kill each other.
Yeah, so when you die, everything respawns, and then also they take all of your money away. So like if you're fighting, right, so you kill people, you collect their souls. Souls are the currency in the game. whether they be dark or otherwise. And you take them and you can spend them at a store to buy armor that is not immediately made clear. I shit you not, it's not made clear how to equip your armor in Dark Souls 2, right? Right, Dark Souls, and that's what I'm talking about. Like, it doesn't seem fun. Like, it doesn't seem, that game seems out to get you, where like most games don't. Because I don't think so. We'll go back to Battletoads. Did you feel like Battletoads was out to get you?
Not particularly. I just felt like it wasn't the type of game that was my strong suit, and I didn't have the patience or the desire to play that game enough to be like, I'm gonna get good at this game and pass this level. I know some people do have that. This game insults me. It thinks it's better than me. I will get good at it and then dominate it. I don't have that. I'm like, I'm not enjoying this. I'm going to move on to a game that I might enjoy better, more.
Yeah. I got it on a Black Friday sale. I downloaded a Black Friday sale. I was like, dude, this is going to be a side game. I'm going to get good at this. Everyone's talking about, what a badge of honor it is. And I was like, yo, fuck your badge of honor, dude. This is not fulfilling. I don't feel better. The regular bad guys are killing me. I'm not even sure I should be in the zone. Like,
am I in? Did I start at the wrong end of the board?
Yeah, I'm so weird. The first thing you can fight, by the way, like when you start the game, and they're talking to you mysteriously about how it is you got there, because the story really isn't clear either. So it's great. It's a game. It's a game. And again, people love this game. It's a game with no narrative, right? It's a game that it's never clear what to do. It's a game where it has purposefully limited fight mechanics, right? So those games back in the NES, they didn't have purposefully limited fight mechanics.
Oh, they were breaking out all the stops.
They were 8 bits. They were 8 bits to the max. To the max. This one was like, and the minute that they had the ability to make the mechanics better, they made them. All the games did. Like, none of them, except this game, this weird love letter to the NES, which is so weird. And it's boring. It's boring. You know what it is? You play fighting games?
I have.
You ever play King of Fighters?
I'm gonna say I must have missed that one.
I can't remember the name of the boss in King of Fighters, right? But the boss fight felt like the other guy was cheating. Like, it felt like the computer was cheating. Like you would push a button and the computer had a response to that button that was the perfect counter. Like, that's what playing that game was. And I played tons of fighting games. Like now, like, terrible. I don't know, my reflexes are slower or whatever. I still occasionally play Killer Instinct, which, by the way, the Battletoads are going to be in. The Battletoads are a Season 3 character for Killer Instinct, which I thought was funny that you brought that up. But you start to play those games, and you kind of feel like, the game is out to get me. This isn't a matter of can I beat it or not. The game is cheating, and that's what Dark Souls 2 felt like. Dark Souls 2 felt like the game was out to get you. Like, it wasn't made to be challenging. It was made to not be beaten. It was like, you're not going to be, like, you're going to get, like, you're playing an RPG where, like, you get to a point and you can't move on. So you go back. Like, you can't beat someone, so you go back.
Right, you have to try to level up, farm it up a little bit.
And grind, yeah. It's like, it's making you do that, like, from the first person you fight. Like, from the first person you fight, you go back. Because if you leave and come back, it'll also reset the level. Right? So if you die, the level resets. If you leave the level and come back, the level resets. And there was just a point where I was just leaving and coming back over and over and over and over again, just to farm the monsters in the tutorial, who, by the way, were still killing me occasionally. Occasionally, I was still being killed by the press this button to roll monsters. Like, the monster in front of that sign would still kill me.
I would not have made it very long in that game.
No. Well, I paid for it, so I was like, I got a Black Friday deal for like $15 or whatever.
Yeah, I don't have that hang up.
I was like, I'm gonna pay until $15 worth, and uninstall. uninstall. When they announced Dark Souls 3, I'm like, why? For what? A prettier game that you can't move fast in, and you have a sword, but you by the way, they don't even swing at real time. I've swung a sword before. It doesn't take that long to swing a sword. It fucking does it. Doesn't matter how big it is. It'll swing fast. And
Yeah. It is what it is. It's a unique little. I don't even see. I'm trying to. I'm, I know I'm hysterical.
yeah,
I'm trying to. I don't think we're shitting on the game. We're both freely admitting that it isn't our type of game. And
I'm shitting on it.
oh well, shit away. I understand that there are people out there who really like those games, but those type of games have never been my thing. What was the one with Kratos and the
God of War.
God of War? Everybody, you gotta play that game. You would love that game. You gotta play that game. You'd love that game. I didn't love that game. Like those games, even if they're not, Dark Souls level of epic hardness, just they get very rinse and repeat for me, and and this is coming from a guy who plays the same thing over and over again and over and over, and I go, the mechanics of roll, get up, sprint, roll, climb up, punch, roll, super. I don't know, those third person adventure games have never been a big thing for me. They're just not my thing.
Well, with games like God of War, right? So let's go ahead and make that direct comparison to Dark Souls. Which, again, to be clear to the Dark Souls fan, your game is terrible by design. Like, you like something that's not good. Like, you like a not good thing. Like Nazi level not good. Like, that's how not good. Yeah, that's what it is. I mean, again, it's, I don't know. It feels as good like people who get off on pulling off a Band-Aid. Like, that's like what this game feels like. So, you guys know where you stand. But at least games like God of War and Ninja Gaiden 3, not that shit that came out after it, but Ninja Gaiden 3, I loved that game, right? Those games make you feel like a badass, right? So, like, here's the thing. Those games are difficult, right? They're overwhelming at times. 50 guys, they're jumping up all over the place. You have to juggle people because if they get to stay on the ground, they'll be able to get the advantage on you. You have to move around a lot. Like, your brain's moving. You're seeing a lot of screen. You're basically on a constant verge of an epileptic fit. It's great, right? That is gaming. That's what video gaming is like. And even when you die, when you shot flames from your eyes or whatever the hell it is, power that a game like that makes you have, and then you die, man, at least I was flying. You know what I'm saying? At least I was doing some cool stuff when I died. In Dark Souls, what I was doing when I was dying was not properly timing a roll. Again.
Yep.
Hit, roll. hit, roll. And not a cool roll, not like a time dash. Not like a short range teleport. And I know probably the Dark Souls people were like, well, blah, 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 blah. No, it matters. Like it matters. There has to be just like they said, you're only doing 3 things. I get it, but they've got to be fun. It's got to be fun to do the 3 things, because even if you're raging because you're not winning or you've hit a wall you can't get over, it's got to be fun. I play all the free games that Xbox put out. Part of their Games with Gold program, right? And one of it was called Zeros, Heroes with a Z in front of it, right? And again, I didn't, whatever, free game, I'm down. I'm gonna give it a try. I didn't get past the first level, and the reason was it was actually a Ninja Gaiden, Devil May Cry, God of War kind of style fighting system, which but much more scaled down, and it wasn't like a third person. More of it was like not like a top down one, but like almost like bird's eye view.
Okay.
Of a closed-in arena. And again, a free game, not initially free, of course. It was just free that month, and you go. you play through, you beat up some robots, and then you have your knock in the air thing, and then punch them in the air and throw them on the ground, knock them in the air. And I died a few times, like in the first two like little closed off areas where you're fighting, and then I got the hang of it. I got through. I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm fighting. I'm like, all right, I'm dying, whatever. I don't give a shit. You die, you go back to the thing, but you're learning the pattern, so you're getting ahead. And this is what like Dark Souls like tries to like teach you. You learn the pattern, you get a little more ahead every time. You feel a little more sense of satisfaction or whatever. So I got to this one part, right, and I'm fighting, and there's people, and my life is at about a quarter life, right, and I see, like within walking distance, a small chest, and in that chest is some life, and I'm like, oh, let me pick up this life real quick, and I start walking, and what do I hit? What do you think I hit?
A trap of some sort.
An invisible goddamn wall. An invisible wall, because it wasn't time for me to get to that part yet. Couldn't go to that part until I killed everyone that was in the zone.
Uh-huh.
Not a new gaming dynamic, right? Not at all anything new or something that's never been done before. However, it's 2016. Do not put an invisible wall between me and something I can see that will give me life. You just baited me. You baited me to go for that life, and then I walked into a fucking invisible wall in 2016. I uninstalled the game that day.
Feels like there should be like a gotcha flag that comes out right after.
Yeah, something. You can't do that. Like, I don't want to feel like the game is against me. Like, I don't want to play a game and then hit a mechanic or a dynamic that was in the game by design to impede me that doesn't feel natural. Like, an invisible wall in that spot does not feel natural.
Yeah, you can almost picture what they were going through when they were designing it. They're like, well, then you bring them in here, and they have to do this, and they have to do this, and somebody in the back room goes, what if they just walk by all the bad guys and grab the health? Shit. Put a wall in there.
Like, yeah, but don't make it of bricks.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to get to next. Like, if you're going to put a wall in there, then, yeah, make it out of bricks and be like, all right, I got to find not only do I have to get past this area, I have to find the gate in this wall or whatnot to get to the health that I can clearly see on the other side.
Yeah, and it doesn't even need to be that complicated. It could just be a slit on the floor in which a gate pops up from. It goes, bang, 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 and it fucking pops up. And then when the people die, it just automatically comes down. It's like, all right, it's a forced thing to cage me in. I get it, but I'm not looking, I'm not looking for a lock-picking mini game every time I kill 5 guys. So, like, I understand that. And I understand it's like a budgeted game. It's one of the cheaper, like, arcade-style games. So I get that you don't have millions of dollars. Check. Draw a wall. Draw one. Force field. That's translucent. I don't even know. I don't design games, so I get it. But I gotta imagine that doing something with some level of opacity versus something that's a solid brick design, it's got to be easier, right? I mean, you got to fill it all the way in.
Well,
right?
Yeah. It's half the pixels.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I feel like, something to consider. So, I mean, I don't know. It just gets upset. Like, gotta think of I'm playing Sherlock Holmes, right? Which is another one of these Xbox free games, right? And the game is slow, and you gotta find clues, and you have to put stuff together, and you have to make deductions.
Well, you gotta
based
Sherlock
off
that
of
thing,
the
huh?
clues. Yeah, and then you actually have to, like, from the clues, if there are multiple. You keep disappearing on the Skype feed, which is great for the recording.
Yeah.
You're not doing anything wrong, and it's not like the internet or nothing. It's just it pops out. So like half of this recording is just going to be the Skype logo, which is great. It's just going to be like
it's an actual podcast.
Yeah, it's like, whoa, what's going on? like the people who download just the audio version of this aren't gonna get it.
Wouldn't even know.
No. But I don't know if it's because I don't know. Skype. This podcast is brought to you by Skype. Perhaps. Let me turn it off and turn it back on. While it goes. It did it earlier. There you go. Yep. Turning it off and turning it back on works. Nope. And you're gone again.
Poof.
Poof. This is magic. But again, it's just not happening. It's gonna make myself bigger than you. Boom. So you come back. Me talking to an invisible voice. Yeah, so it. I don't know. Like, could it be spoiled? Could it be because I'm technically millennial? Like that, I don't understand how this stuff works, or I mean, am I asking too much from games to
Well, I mean,
give me that? It's just
no, it's
like
you just every once in a while you go digging in the wrong hole for a game. Like you hear a lot of hype about a game, and you're like, that sounds like it's gonna be really cool, and then you play it, and you're like, well, I don't know why everybody likes this. That game's just not for you. It wasn't made for you. It wasn't designed for you. It was designed for the people who like having that kind of shit to deal with and thrown in their face.
yeah, but then is there something wrong with those people though? Like.
Well,
Like why do we play games, right? So like I literally play games like part of it's competitive, right? Like I want to shit on strangers on the internet, right? Like I want to beat them up. Like I got this guy. I was playing on stream today. I was doing a smite, right? Kumrakana, right? So Kumrakana is a sleeping giant god, and he has a passive. Right, so I'm gonna put the video up tomorrow probably of the game in its entirety. But his passive is that if you kill him and his passive is up, he does not die. Instead, he goes to sleep, and then you have to kill him again when he's sleeping. So you basically, in effect, have to kill him twice. Right, so I'm like, oh, whatever. I forget that that's his passive sometimes when I'm playing him, because I just, I'm not talking shit. I tend not to die a lot when I'm playing him because he's a tank. Like that's just kind of his deal.
Sure.
So I was playing today, and I was fighting against an Aokong who's like an assassin type mage, and he has what's called an execute, which is an instant kill. If your life reaches a certain threshold, he kills you on the spot. And by the way he kills you, by the way, is he turns into a dragon, bites you, and takes you into the air. That's how he kills you. It's very epic. And again, if you're an Aokong, it's very satisfying. So he goes and he does that. He stabs me, right? I tried to sleep him, but his stab makes him CC immune. He stabs me. He takes me into the air, but I don't go into the air. I literally fall out of his mouth asleep. And I lay down on the floor. And he doesn't understand immediately what happens, because when you go up in the air in your dragon form, you can land anywhere you want on the map, right? Because you're in the sky. So he was pretty low on life because I pretty much was outboxing him. He wasn't a very good outcon. And he lands, and then I'm on his thing asleep, and I'm sure he's thinking to himself, hey, why didn't the "you have killed an enemy" pop up on my screen? So I'm there on the floor sleeping, and I'm just waiting, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm back awake. I didn't die. And I am hauling ass running. And his entire team realized what happens, and they rotate from, there was a big 3-on-3 fight on one side, and I was fighting 1-on-1. They all rotate, and then when they rotate, my whole team rotated after them. So now here I am, like, no life. Kubra Khan is a fat Indian god, right? With a henna tattoo on his stomach. And I am just a fat guy running. And there's fucking 6 people behind me. 3 people. No, there wasn't. There was 7 people because the Ao Kong was chasing too. And all I was thinking is like, man, I want to interview this guy. Like, I want to know, like, I've never done that. I've never killed a Kumbra Karna with an execute and had him just fall asleep instead of dying. And I just wanted to know, like, what does that feel like? What's going through your heart right now? Like, are you okay? Like you thought you got the best of me there. You were trying to whittle me down to my execute rage. I tried to put you to sleep. You countered my sleep. You thought you killed me. I'm still alive. 2 people on your team are dead now. Are you okay? That's all your fault. It's your fault. You didn't kill me. That's part of why I play video games, right? Like that feeling right there. But I will exchange that feeling for every time I'm on the other side of it. Like every time I'm outplayed, every time I'm dumpstered, every time I think I'm being clever and I'm coming from where people can't see me and I blink in and then I get rooted and annihilate. I'm dead in 3 seconds. They delete me. Like permanently the code is gone from the game. I get hit so hard. I'll exchange that. Like, that for that is satisfying, right? Your experience with your buddy playing Battletoads, right? You'll exchange that frustration to, like, be doing it with someone. You can't play multiplayer in Dark Souls 2, right? Unless you go and find, like, a token or something, right? I forget what it is. It's like a rock or some shit. You gotta find a rock. Your buddy has to go find the same rock for some vendor. Now, to get to the vendor, he's in some fucking hallway somewhere, because that's where vendors are in this game, in fucking hallways. You have to kill like 50 people to get to him. Hope you don't die on the way. Then get the rock. Your buddy has to also get the rock. You both have to go place the rock at the same place at the same time and like do Wonder Twin power rings. Then he can come into your game, but only for 30 minutes. That's how multiplayer in Dark Souls 2 works. Now, I hear that they fixed it in Dark Souls 3, that you can just, I don't know, go to matchmaking. Like, okay, I don't want to bring everything back to Destiny, but I know you're a big Destiny guy. When one of my biggest complaints about Destiny is no matchmaking for the higher tier raids and certain game top things where you have to go and like find people like the hard way, and how stupid that is. Could you imagine if to get instead of just being in space and partying up, right? You had to land in on Earth, right? And then you had to go to the store, you had to buy a thing, then you had to take your ship to where you wanted to go do your thing.
It's the exact right point in space.
Yeah, and then you had to go, all right, you ready? Now you do your thing. I do. Okay, now find me in the list. Like, how frustrating like that would be. And then you go ahead and tell me, no, the game's really good. You should play it. It's a fun game. It's the best.
Yeah, but they probably hate our games.
Yeah, but that makes them stupid. I stand behind them being bad people. Like I like if you like Dark Souls 2, like I'm attacking your character right now. Like I'm not even like holding back. You're doing it wrong. You're doing something wrong. If you like Dark Souls 2.
We should have had a Dark Souls person be on.
We should have, but this wasn't the plan for the episode, so
true.
we're just winging it.
We're
Also, I don't know any Dark Souls people because I wouldn't hang out with anyone like that.
I assume I know one, but because he seems to be that type. I was like, if anybody loves a bad game, it'd be this guy.
Let's call him. You got his number? Let's call him. Let's fucking Skype him right now.
We can't. He might be playing Dark Souls.
I'll call him right now. I'll be like, why do you like stupid things? Why do you like... You like Dark Souls and broken slinkies. Like, that's what you play with. You're a fucking animal.
You're a tortured human being.
You really are.
Your mom hugged you enough when you were a kid? Why do you play that game?
What is it? If you play Dark Souls, like if you're really into Dark Souls and you actively between the dark, you're into really weird stuff in bed. Like that's the only conclusion.
I wish Dr. Freud was around so we could just show it to him and be like, what does this say about people? Like, oh, this is not good.
No, well, if you showed Sigmund Freud that, he'd be like, wait a minute, you move these thumbsticks here and the thing on the screen moves?
What sorcery is this?
This is magic.
Forget about the psychology.
What's going on?
Why is this box talking to me?
Oh, man. So I think, I don't know. I feel like I thoroughly took the Dark Souls people to task.
You did. And if more than like 8 people watch this, you'd probably get some hate mail.
Yeah, I know. 8 people. Can we stand? I'm gonna tag this. I'm gonna somehow put this on Instagram.
Oh, like hashtag it why Dark Souls sucks or something like that.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to. Can we talk about Instagram for a second since we're on the subject, because we were talking about it before the thing started. I mean, so our gaming channel, right? It's called No Right Answers Gaming, and so No Right Answers Gaming and RAG, NRAG, right? _ Danny is my Instagram, right? So my first Instagram post was 11-1 Oshwash performance in Smite that I put out there, and I just hashtag like Smate Smite and Wrecking Kids or whatever, and I put it out there, and I got a meh back. Some stranger on the internet, who I don't know, was apparently perusing Smite pictures. Meh. So I'm like, oh, all right, cool. Let me check it out. And then he sent me like a private picture back, right? And I look at the guy's profile, and like the guy's profile, he's like a 13-year-old shirtless kid, like full nips in his shirtless picture, like full twink status, right? Leaning forward. Hold on, let me see if I can. Like, there you go. He was leaning forward like that, but shirtless and hairless. Okay, I don't want to say the guy's name, right? But his profile was at the private, and it said Libra, Florida, single. Like, that's all it was. And he was trying to send me a private message. And my instinct, which I followed, was to not accept that private picture because I feel like he was trying to trick me into child pornography. Because that's the only thing any of that, like, I imagine that's not even a human. That's just like some giant trucker who's really into that kind of stuff, and he was trying to bait me out with it. So hopefully if I tag this, I'll get some people who, for some reason, instead of self-flagellating by playing Dark Souls, is on Instagram
Giving out meh to strangers?
Yes, giving out mez to strangers. As I put, I'm gonna get on paint.net tonight, and I'm gonna get a Dark Souls picture, and I'm gonna go, why does this suck? And then I'm gonna, what's my podcast?
This game is meh.
This game is meh. This game.
See, we can do it too,
Yeah.
internet strangers.
Yeah.
That thing you like is meh.
Meh. Meh. This game is for mehaholics. All right, so I think we can call this one perfectly bookended and far more focused without those other guys. Man, I really, just so you know, in case you were, so this is a gaming podcast. It's part of a large umbrella called Badmouth Radio, and the Badmouth Radio umbrella covers it has three. It has a general kind of shock jock style podcast that I also do, and then a sports podcast that I also do, and then this podcast that I also do because no one would hire me to do radio, and so I'm on all of them. So it's important that, you know, when people come here and they just want to talk games and they don't want to hear dick jokes and stuff, I ask you guys to take it with a grain because I'm like this on all of the channels. This one is just focused on gaming because the line I was about to say was, I hope the guys know that in order to get rid of those 4-hour erections, what they do is they inject stool softener into the base of your penis. And so people aren't like, go, I came here for games, not penis jokes. But like, you're always coming here for penis jokes, and you're getting the games as a bonus.
Yeah. We talk games. Penis jokes are for free.
Exactly. That's, you know, bonuses. You know what I'm saying? Think of how more fulfilled your life is now that you know what happens if you experience one of the side effects talked about in those commercials where an old man is throwing a football through a tire.
With his wife.
With his wife, as he looks at her, goes, eh?
Meh? Meh?
Meh? Meh? This is going to be, I'm going to take this pill and I'm going to take it from meh to eh? I'm going to drop that M.
From meh to eh.
Yeah. The dream, dude. That is the dream. All right, so thanks for listening and or watching. And I guess we're sponsored by Skype because for a full 5 minutes, you were just a Skype logo. So again, NRAG_Danny on the Instagrams. So you can see pictures of stuff you already play. Also, we're planning to do a thing in Jersey where we all get drunk instead of playing video games. TBD. I guess we'll Instagram that. Badmouth Danny, by the way, I've been giving out the wrong Twitter name.
Of course you have.
On the past two podcasts. It's at Badmouth Danny because from, again, the larger Badmouth Radio thing, and no right answers on the Twitch, and am I missing anything? YouTube page, No Right Answers Gaming on the YouTube page. And then you are at Mike Burke 668.
Yep.
At Mike Burke 668 on the Twitters, and also Xbox Live handle, which I have not been giving out. No right answers, all one word. You want to give yours out for your PlayStation Network?
PlayStation is Burke_668th.
There you go. And then he's no dumb questions on the Xbox, which he is never on.
No.
He is never on. All right, so hopefully next week our
Regular
topic
cohorts
will be virtual reality and augmented reality and the Oculus Rift and the HoloLens and all that other stuff and the Google Glass. So again, thanks for watching. See you guys next week. Broadcast.